Commend your willingness to undertake the most important work in a democracy, the work of the concerned and engaged citizen. So congratulations to all of you for being here, and thank you very much. Governor, Debbie and Catherine and I once again have the honor and privilege to welcome you to our home, and we're very happy that you're here. In a more general sense, I want to welcome you home to this community, to the Greater Fall River, the South Coast community. This is an area that stood behind you in the election and stands behind you now as you move forward to work with us to make the difficult choices that have to be made for the Commonwealth's future, for the common good. I think that we should all remember that as a candidate, Governor Patrick pledged to have an open administration and to give everyone interested a place at the table to contribute. And he's obviously more than kept that pledge, not only by his presence here today, but by virtue of his engaging citizens throughout the Commonwealth on every single important issue that has come before him in his administration. So we thank you for that.
I want to thank the Kenneys for their always warm welcome, and apologize that they did not add an addition in time for this wonderful showing. And I hope that we can have a real conversation. I did not come. I see you're all ready with your pen, and I'm looking at you. I hope we can really have a conversation about the proposal we have made, about some different ways of thinking about it, some ideas you may have. But let me start with just a word or two about how we arrived where we are and what the proposal is, because sometimes I think the only thing anybody has heard anything about is 19 cents on the gas tank. This is a reform proposal first and foremost, and it deals with a decade and a half or more of chronic neglect of our transportation infrastructure. Our roads are in terrible, terrible shape. We have a long, long list of so-called structurally deficient bridges. We have unreliable, in many places inadequate, rail services. The regional transit authorities have a very kind of up and down, unreliable funding mechanism. You may not realize, but Massachusetts drivers spend $718 million today on car repairs directly related to the shoddy condition of our roads. So to the point of we pay for it one way or another. We have six different agencies, some of them public, some of them quasi-public, with responsibility for different parts of this transportation network. And until recently, they didn't even often talk to each other, let alone plan and execute an integrated transportation strategy. That's where we are. And the Transportation Finance Commission that was set up by the legislature some years ago reported 2 years ago that if we stay on this course and do nothing different, we will see ourselves in a $15 to $19 billion hole over the next 20 years, meaning that is what it would take just to maintain what we have right now. So what we have proposed is a reform package that starts by taking these 6 different agencies and mashing them into one. That's not a very technical term, but you understand what I mean. One agency with 4 divisions: a highway division, an aviation and port division, a rail and transit division, and the R&D. We look to change the pension system at the T and the healthcare system in transportation agencies generally. Do anybody know about the 23 and out rule at the T? I mean, some of you know. Anybody not know what I'm talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about? Right now at the T, and by the way, I just want to be clear, this is not a dig at the people who work at the T. This is just a rule at the T. You can work for, you can join the T at say 18 years old, work for 23 years. 18 plus 23 is
41.
41. Work for 23 years and start collecting your pension then at 40 some odd years old. Go get another job in state government and start earning another pension. And it's the sort of thing that just burns people. We can't afford that anymore. It's not that the people are bad. It's just that it has there's a richness to that benefit that it's out of date, and we have to deal with that. So we want to align the T and other sort of pension outliers, if you will, with the state system. Align the healthcare systems. We also spend. We pay for more than 1,000 transportation employees on the capital budget rather than the payroll, which means that we borrow to pay their salary and benefits. And that is a practice that goes back 15, actually maybe 20 years ago. It was increased in the previous administration, and I get it. I mean, it's a great way to make it look like you've reduced head count or you've reduced overhead, but it's no way to run, a railroad. So we need to move those folks onto the operating budget, and as we do, it frees up money to invest in our infrastructure.